Okay, so we're going to tidy up this cylinder bit now, because if this was a real chair, there'd be a hole in there that the actual cylinder for the chair seat can go into. They usually come in parts. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to put a hole in this one first of all. So I'm going to choose hole. I'm going to choose this face up here. Now it puts one in there, but I don't know if it's actually in the middle. So what I need to do is use, you can see it's not in the middle. It wants a reference point, so I'm going to click on the outside edge. That's the reference, and it now centers it all up. Next thing is, what kind of size of hole do I want to put in? I can see that that one's way too small for what I need. So the diameter of this was 60, so I've got to be looking at something in about the 50s. So if I look at something like 54, and I see how that looks. So 54 would basically mean the thickness of the wall of that metal would be 3 millimeters, which is probably about right. But it's not going anywhere near deep enough, so I'm going to pull that down further. Take it into about that depth, so it's not quite going through, but there's plenty there to put a pipe into. I'm going to click OK on there, so I can see that's beginning to look quite nice. I probably want to put what's called put some sort of like what looks like a weld around the bottom of there to make it look more realistic. So rather than having that as completely flat, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm actually going to use the same technique again that we used earlier and use a fillet, and I'm going to click all the way around this outside area. I'm going to move it around to do that. They're all going blue. Oops. I think that's all of them. And I'm going to try looking at something like maybe a 2mm fillet around there. That's a little bit small. Let's double that up and look at 4. Not 400, just 4. Oops. Okay, that looks a little bit more realistic for what we're trying to accomplish. And I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to look at the top part as well, zoom in a little bit on there, and rather than have this tight edge on there, I'm going to try and put a little bit of a chamfer and things on here to make it look nicer as well. So same thing, I'm going to choose my sorry, not a chamfer, a fillet. I mean, put a fillet around this outside edge. This one's going to be a bit smaller. We'll try 2mm on there. That's too big. Try 1mm. So it just takes a little bit of that edge off it, and we might even look and see if we do the inside edge what that will look like as well with a fillet on it, because when you put, in reality, when you push the pipe in, it would be easier for it to fit if it was slightly rounded. So I think that looks better, so we'll say OK to that. Okay, what I might do now is make a component out of these things. So I'm going to actually come up to where it says bodies, and this whole body, if I turn it on and off, I'm going to right click on it and I say create a component. So now this is my component down here, and I can rename this, and I can call it something like Starbase, because that's what it is. Okay, so now all I need to do to this one is to maybe add some casters to it.